Ace Podcast.
Hey, this is Aaron.
And this is Craig.
And you're listening to my favorite podcast, Don't Wake the Kids.
On the Ace Podcast Network.
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is Randall with Don't Wake the Kids as always.
And Chris Edwards.
Oh,
drop the last name. Oh,
last name. You can all find him now.
Yep. Social security number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You ever get those calls from shit? What does she say? Like, hi, this is Stacy from Credit Services or something like that.
All the time, dude.
Like, would you like to lower your interest rates?
Yeah.
I got really fucking tired of it one night, and I hope I haven't told this story yet. I know I've told it to some people, but I don't remember if I've told it on the show or not.
I don't think you've told me, so we're gonna act like it's a brand new story.
Right. So, oh really Bogart made?
Way to go, Bogart made.
I'm getting notifications on my computer that I didn't even know I got. Anyways, I decided that I didn't want to get it anymore. So I was going to wait for a person to pick up and tell them, hey, take me off your fucking list. So I waited, and the guy comes on, and as soon as he comes on, I said, take me off of this fucking list. And he went off on me. An Indian dude went off telling me he was going to rape my mom and all this crazy stuff.
Must have been under a lot of pressure that day.
I was at home. And I ran into Amy was in her office. I ran in there and put it on speakerphone and just because I wanted somebody to witness what was happening. So me and this guy go back and forth insulting each other.
You are a fucker of mothers?
You cocksucker motherfucker! a lot of that type of stuff. But so I hung up because it obviously wasn't going anywhere. Now every time they call, I put on an act. So that it's the same thing every time. They first ask you, if you want to lower your interest rates. Usually I'll pick I'll play like a dumb hick type character. So I'll put on a southern accent and I'll say, well, yeah. And they're like, all right, well, what? And obviously I'm not going to do the Indian accent, but it's always an Indian dude. But he says, okay, well, what is your outstanding credit card balance as of today? And I would make up something, and I don't know. It's somewhere around 30,000.
30.
Yeah. And they'll say, okay, well, how many credit cards is that spread out across? And I'll just make up something. It's on 9 cards. And they'll ask which one has the highest balance, and I'll say something like, well, my Visa has 12,000 on it. And he'll be like, okay, well, what is that card number? And I'll make up a card number. I usually, if I have my wallet handy, I'll pull my actual debit card out and I'll just change like 3 numbers because it's a Visa. So I know that whatever the first 4 is so that it comes up as a Visa when he runs it. And then he'll ask for the expiration date. And he always says, it's not working. It's not going through. And that's when I break character and I say, well, no shit, motherfucker. And then they go off and start cursing at me and I hang up.
Well, hey, for them wasting your time, with the call and stuff, now you get to waste their time.
Yeah,
with the
it's
work.
fun.
So yeah, it's a fair trade-off.
But I like to play with the character a little bit, change it up every now and then. Sometimes he'll be real slow, and always when they ask for the card number, I'm like, "I'll hold on a minute. I got to get out my wallet."
Gotta get this old wallet out. Killed me a bear and made it from bear fur.
Bear fur wallet.
I don't know, man. That'd be
my boss.
Interesting.
He's really into
bear fur.
Men's Coach. Like Coach purses.
Okay.
Apparently, they have men's wallets and bags and stuff.
Yeah, overpriced.
Oh yeah, like his wallet. I think he said he paid $19 for it because there's apparently down in Tyler, Texas, there's a outlet where they sell real Coach stuff that has flaws in it, like it missed a stitch or something like that. and they sell it for really, really cheap. So he got this wallet that he's carried every day for 6 years, and it looks brand new, but it's like it's a leather wallet. He said the retail price for it was like $260. Like, I've never had $260 in my wallet. There's no way in hell I'm gonna pay $260 to carry less than $260 in.
That's why I used to love rocking the old paperclip, the little metal ones that like fold back. That was the cheapest wallet ever owned in my life, and I've never lost it at all.
My current wallet has a money clip on it, but it also holds 3 cards and my license, and I paid $20 for it at Walmart. I've had it for 2 years, going strong. It's still holding out.
I stole my paperclip from work, so yeah, it was free.
Oh, so you mean literally just a regular paperclip?
Yeah, like ones you like. Well, not like actual like the paperclip, but the ones that like fold back and they're like I don't know how to explain it.
Like the alligator clip?
I guess is that what they call
Kinda.
it? Like where they open, like where it kind of folds back and it's got a little triangle.
Yeah, it's got the 2 little metal pieces that you pull back that you squeeze, and then when you put the money in, you flip them forward.
There you go. I know. I'm glad you can use words better than I can. So yeah, exactly that right there.
That's funny.
But yeah, that was the best wallet ever. I have a fossil one now, and it's cool, I guess. But I've lost it a couple times. I don't know, when it's cheap, I guess I keep up with it. When it's expensive, I'm like, eh.
That's how I am with sunglasses. I've never. Every time I've paid more than like $20 for a pair of sunglasses, I lose them. It's guaranteed. It's gonna happen. My little brother gave me a pair of Oakleys in like 2009, somewhere around there. And I had them. They were free, nice sunglasses. He paid a lot of money for them, but I didn't pay anything for them. So I was able to hold on to them until when I got out of the Air Force, I bought a Jeep. Do you remember the Jeep?
Yeah, I remember the Jeep.
So I went over to my friend Erica's house, and we hung out. I ended up crashing there. Like I passed out at her house because I had imbibed, and I left the top off my Jeep. I stuck everything in the console, but I didn't lock it. And somebody came in and they stole my sunglasses and my iPod Touch out of the console.
Some people's kids, man.
Yeah, but I did. I don't know, about 2 months ago, I bought a decent pair of sunglasses. I think I spent $30 on them. I lost them like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Last I knew, I had them at work. They just disappeared.
Now, I have held on to my Under Armour sunglasses that were given to me for about a year and a half. But
Are they stretchy?
No, they're not stretchy. I get it. No, unfortunately, I haven't had my contacts, so I haven't been able to wear them. So that's the only reason why I've kept it that long, because I've only had my contacts for a short. Home. Yeah, I mean, my glasses I have now, they transition. Nothing like sunglasses, but they transition, so it helps block some UV light.
You're wearing transition lenses?
Yes, I am.
I tweeted earlier this week that not all serial killers wear transition lenses, but all transition lens wearers are serial killers.
Well, fact about me, I did not know.
I'm very uncomfortable in the small room with you now.
Somebody once said I looked like an FBI agent with them when I walked in, because I always walked in the hospital from lunch and stuff, and I could not see anything at all because it would be black. And then they were like, "You look like some kind of FBI
Take off your
agent."
shades, dumbass.
Yeah, I know. I always think of Bailey whenever I wear them when they transit, because didn't he used to always wear those?
I think so.
I remember like the only kid I think I ever known to rock those besides me.
He was a special cookie, though.
Oh, very special. Dude, one day he came to my house, like I just like met the guy and came over, and he just walked straight up into my fridge and just starts going through my fridge.
You told me that. That's funny. Oh, so in January, I filed a disability claim with the VA, and it's now nearing the end of July. We're past the middle of July. I finally, this week, had a physical so that they can determine my eligibility.
How decrepit are you?
Oh, like medically you want to know? Haven't I told you?
I think you have told me. I was just...
Yeah.
I didn't know,
well, I have 2 herniated discs, degenerative arthritis, and scoliosis apparently now that I didn't have.
Hey, scoliosis buds.
When I joined the Air Force, I did not have scoliosis, but I do now.
Apparently I acquired scoliosis over the years too. Don't know how. Probably the time that I fell in the lake, tried jumping off a rope swing, and instead of jumping out, I just dropped straight down to about a half-foot high of water and landed on my ass. And everyone thought I was paralyzed there for a moment. Yeah.
What if it was maybe the time that you sat down in a tub of butter You think that could have tweaked it a little?
No, if anything, I think it loosened it up a little bit. It cooled it down, though, I'll tell you that much. Because my ass was on fire.
Have we told the story of why your nickname was Butters?
Oh, that'd be a great one. I don't know if we have.
No, what?
We need to go through the notes.
Everyone used to call Chris Butters.
Man of many nicknames.
Yeah, seriously, so many nicknames. But go ahead and remind me.
All right, man. Butters, I think I was the only one that graduated high school at the time. It was on a spring break week.
Very low graduation rate that year.
Yeah, well, we all decided to meet up at Amanda's house out there towards like Mansfield. And
you don't have to be specific on names and places. Nobody knows where these are.
Come on, we all know each other now. But anyways, yeah. So we're at this girl's house that we've been hanging out with all week up in Hot Springs, and we decided to go to their house and throw a party. And I was trying to be the responsible one and stay sober throughout the night while everyone else was getting drunk, so I could drive.
The Chris I know.
Well, listen, the Chris you know does come out. No, I was actually trying to stay sober because I was going to drive all the people that had to go, because there was a bunch of young underage kids, so I had to drive some of them home. So I was trying to be responsible at that point. But when I got back, I was like, all right, time to catch up. And I remember there was drinks, like drinks all over the place. And I just started pounding away. And next thing I know, apparently I'm singing a song about chalupas falling down the stairs. Remember Kendra?
Wait,
I was singing it to Kendra.
Hold on. You said that kind of fast. Were you singing about chalupas that were falling down the stairs, or were you singing about chalupas while you were falling down the stairs?
While I was falling down the stairs.
Okay.
Yes. Apparently it was pretty epic. I even made a Mexico version of America Fuck Yeah. I could not probably redo that for you right at
this. A Mexico version or a Spanish version?
Well, Mexico.
Like were you singing it in Spanish, or were you singing it about Mexico?
It was about Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, not
getting me all kinds of confused here.
Well, anyway, so I remember one of our buddies is like, hey, I got to go pick up my girlfriend. I'll be back, and we're going to party. And I'm like, all right, awesome, because he would not drink with me. He's like, I got to be responsible. He was doing what I was doing earlier. And I was like, all right, when you get back, we're going to drink. And next thing I know, I'm passing out on the couch, and the girl's brother that where house we're at, all of a sudden I hear him puking, and everyone's like kind of freaking out. And then and I start puking. I roll over to the side of the couch and start puking, and then I get embarrassed. So my reaction is, let's go run away from everybody. So I take off running and slide through the brother's puke. And then now my clothes is covered in puke. And so I rip off all my clothes because that is the most reasonable thing to do at the time. And I go into the bathroom butt naked. And I'm sitting there for some reason yelling at my penis. I don't know why. But I grab a toilet paper roll, stick it on my dick. And I walk out there, and because apparently I guess I have my underwear, and so I grab my boxers, and I go back into the bathroom, I get myself dressed, and as I'm coming out, I have 2 legs through 1 leg hole. My ass is hanging out, and everyone, just laughing, having a good time with it at all. I remember standing there by the fridge or something, and I think either Justin or Jeff, one of the two, come over there, and they just like slap my ass barehanded, dude, just like as hard as possible. And I was like, and I felt like I was dying, man. And so I'm sitting there, and like they're trying to get me to calm down. They get me to sit there, and while everyone's just sitting there watching me laugh, as I'm the center of the tension at this time, I reach behind me in the fridge, and I grab the coldest thing I could find. And lo and behold, it was a tub of butter. And so I open the butter, and I try to sit in the butter. And I remember somebody walking by, and I was like, "Get it, butters?" As I'm like jiggling my ass. And so while I was working at Best Buy, I was always referred to as Butters to customers. Not many people knew why, but they just called me Butters.
Oh man, I'm pretty glad I wasn't there that night.
Oh, you missed it, man. You
just for the fact that I don't want to see you walking around naked with your dick through a toilet paper roll.
Not many people remember that part. They all remember just the Butters part. So I think it's so amazing because like there's so many people that would come up to me at college and they're like, "Hey, Butters." I'm like, "Hey, you." Don't know who they were. Apparently went to school with them or something. They were at the party, but yeah. And a lot of people actually thought I was called Butters because I had long blonde hair at the time. And so they thought I was like, oh, he looks like Butters the cartoon character, until later they found out, oh, that's why he's called Butters.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's how I got the nickname Butters.
Butters, and there was Dub C.
Oh, white chocolate. Yeah, that was a cheer camp name. Actually, I think that's where it originated from.
You cheerleader mascot.
Mascot.
But anyway, so my back is fucked.
Little tangent.
Yeah, a
there.
little tangent. It's fine. I lost my train of thought there. Why was I talking about it?
All
I had the
right, well,
physical.
You had the physical. Your
I had the
back's
physical.
fucked.
Yeah, so the VA is very efficient, obviously. I filed in January. It's now nearing the end of July, and I finally, 7 months later, had the physical. And they let me know that I should know sometime in about 2 months, the ruling.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sounds like typical VA, man.
Yeah. So hopefully I get some compensation for my pain, because it's bad. It is not good.
Well, I know they helped my brother out quite a bit, so I'm hoping you get the same assistance or something like that.
Yeah, he's got a lot more issues than me. I don't think I'll get as much as him.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, mine's just the back. And there's nothing else. I know some people that have multiple issues that don't get what I think what they should. Like my boss has a lot of issues. He was literally blown up multiple times, and he doesn't have that much help. Jeez. It's crazy.
Do you snore at night? You ever thought about trying to check and see if you have sleep apnea? Because that's another thing you can add to it.
I know. I honestly, yes, getting the disability check would be nice for getting diagnosed with sleep apnea, but they require you to wear the CPAP machines and stuff to get it. Like, to be able to get the money, I guess you have to wear the CPAP. And I'm not sleeping with anything on me. I sleep fine. I don't have any real issues. Amy says I snore sometimes, like when I sleep on my back, but
stay to the side.
It's weird. Like, I fall asleep on my side. I wake up on my side, but she says as soon as I'm asleep, I roll over onto my back and sleep like a vampire. Like, I'll sleep with my arms crossed on my chest or up behind my head. It's just weird.
And I like to hug a pillow. Forever alone nights.
I hug myself. I'm the friendliest person I know.
Precious.
Something else I wanted to talk about. This is just crazy. This is random. Totally fucking random. I was listening to the Ologies podcast today. It's basically Allie Ward. She's on TV, like she's on the Food Network, and I don't know, she's really cool. I used to listen to, she had an older, anyways, that's besides the point. She has this podcast called Ologies where she interviews ologists, and it's not just like your typical biologist or whatever, geologist, though there are episodes on them. This one, I forget what it was called, what the actual ologist was, but this woman studies snails. Gastropods, I guess.
Gastrologist?
No, it was like a molinologist or something. I don't remember. It started with an M. I could look it up right now, but I'm not going to.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
She was talking at one point about giant African land snails. And this intrigued me. Like, I'd never heard of that.
The gals, huh?
Yeah, gals is what they call them for short. I didn't know what they were talking about. And as she was describing it, I was like, that just does not sound real at all. Like, literally, she described it as they can be the size of a bunny rabbit.
Jeez.
And yeah, and Allie asked her, like, so could I get a gal as a pet? And she said, absolutely not. Like, you could, but they live in California. They live in LA.
But I thought they were African.
Not the snails, Allie and the ologist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said because it's a very invasive species. Hold on. There's a debate for us. Is it species or species? I'm going to go with species. I said species first time.
I think I've always said species, but now that you mention it, species sounds
There's no SH
correct,
there.
But
yeah.
Maybe in the South it's species and everywhere else it's species.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyways, yeah, they're a very invasive species and they fuck up the environment, like eating plants and shit. And apparently there's a really big problem with them in parts of Florida where like trillions of dollars are being spent just trying to get rid of these giant ass snails.
Why don't we just pour salt on everything?
Well, she said in the colder climate places where like in the winter it gets cold enough to kill them off, it's not as bad to have one as a pet because it's going to have babies. Or if it does have babies, those babies are going to get out and thankfully they will die in the wintertime.
So, I mean, this is actually an American, these things over in America?
There are some here. As far as I know, just in Florida. And museums and shit.
Dude, I'd freak out when I see
They're crazy. Yeah,
humongous.
Google giant African land snails. It's nuts. It's like you'll find pictures of people holding them. and they're like
no.
as big as their hand or bigger.
I love animals, but bugs are just not animals in my book. I'm sorry.
I don't think is a snail considered a bug?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is it not? I guess it's not. I mean, well, I don't know. As a slug.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I have not taken biology in quite a while, so that's a good question for the viewers.
Yeah, somebody let me know, is a snail a bug?
Because we're too lazy to Google right now.
Yep. So one last quick story before we get into, and this is very quick. There's not much to this. Before we get into segments.
Public defecation's my favorite.
I got home today and, well, first, a little backstory. My refrigerator has been making this loud humming and buzzing noise for the last, I don't know, week and a half. Chris, the look on your face, you're like, you have no idea where this story's going. So it's been making this noise, and I called. I still have a warranty on it, so I called, and they sent a guy out today, and he said that there's a motor going bad and a fan isn't going bad yet, but it's probably going to go bad soon because that's typical with the model that I have. So he ordered both of them and said they should be in a week or so, and he left. Well, tonight my refrigerator just died. It stopped cooling altogether.
Out on you.
Everything in the refrigerator was getting warm. All my ice in the freezer was melting. Amy had some ice cream in there that's not, it's just straight cream now. It lost the ice.
So you would say it crapped out on you?
It crapped out on me.
Okay.
It definitely crapped out on me. So I mentioned before that my neighbor across the street, she fell and broke her shoulder. She's in a rehab clinic. I go see her almost every day. I take her mail and help handle her bills and stuff. Well, to keep from losing all of our food, I called her and asked her if we could borrow. She has in her basement, she has it's like, I don't want to call it a mini fridge because it's bigger than, it's like a college dorm fridge. It's like a half fridge. It's like half the size of a regular refrigerator. Maybe a little smaller than that. But anyways, I called her and just to make sure it was okay before I went and took it, because I have the key to her house and everything. But she said it was fine. So I went and I got the refrigerator. I brought it in the house, installed it. And I was taking my dolly back to my garage, and I remembered I'd forgotten to turn the air conditioner on to the studio. I have to turn the air conditioner on out here hours early so that it gets it nice and cool in here because it's fucking hot in the garage. I'm walking to the studio, and right in front of the door, like literally right in front of the doorway to the studio, is a big pile of shit. I was confused. Like, did a dog get in my garage somehow? Like, my mother-in-law is here today. She comes and cleans for us. We pay her, so it's not like she just cleans for us, but she's my nanny / housekeeper.
Nice.
The best nanny / housekeeper we could ever ask for. Because, I mean, she's the grandma, so that's even better for the kids, right? But anyway, so, yeah, I'm like, where the fuck did this shit come from? Literally. I was so confused. Well, I had seen a couple dogs in my yard a couple days ago, so I thought maybe one of them had come in.
Sounds reasonable.
I went inside, and Amy was putting food in the refrigerator. I was like, hey, I need you to come here. And she came out, and I just pointed at the floor, and she busted up laughing. She's like, I'm so confused. Where did that come from? Well, then she got to looking around, and she found the swim trunks that my 2-year-old son was wearing earlier today that had some shit streaks down the leg. So
We call those skid marks.
He apparently, like, he's not potty trained yet. I talked about this on the episode with Josh.
Obviously.
Yeah, we're having a hard time with him. When he poops, he like goes and hides.
I guess it gets embarrassed or something.
If we're in the house, he might go in another room. If we're all in the living room, he might go into the kitchen and just squat in the corner. Or he'll go like stand on the edge of the side of the couch where we can't see him. Like he goes and hides. And if we ask him what he's doing, nothing. But so apparently, while they were outside playing in the pool, he decided he had to take a shit. So he came in the garage and squatted over here in front of my studio door. Since he was wearing swim trunks with no liner, he didn't have his pull-up on, it just fell out down the leg and into a pile in front of my studio.
Well, at least he didn't leave what do they call it, a little Snickers in the pool or anything.
Oh, it's a little kiddie pool that I could have picked up and dumped out. I would have probably rather have done that than had to clean up shit off the garage floor. Oh, it sucked.
Reese is a little exhibitionist, man.
He's a fun kid, but damn it. Well, that's enough of that. Let's get into the segments. We don't have a parenting advice this week. I need you guys to write me. Send it in. You can tweet the questions at DWTK Podcasts. Look at us up on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/don'twakethekids and send me a message there. You can email me at don'twakethekids@acepodcast.com.
Another gram.
I don't know why it never does that. It's so weird. Yeah, just send me your parenting questions, or if you want advice on something. I might not always give you a straight answer or a serious answer. So just send a question. It'll never hurt to ask. So since we don't have parenting advice this week, we do have hashtag trending finally again.
Welcome back, Twitter.
Twitter wasn't sucking as bad today. It's not the best, but I found a couple gems that I thought we should share. But this week's hashtag is what I thought when I was 18.
Do you want me to start off with the first one?
I'll do the first one. The first one comes from @MadAnter. He says, I can't wait to get laid. The same thought I had last month on my 27th birthday. Poor guy.
@Todd Dotto. That Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson were role models.
Yeah, they're not so much role models anymore.
Well, not the kind of role models that you want.
No, is there another kind of role model?
I mean, you never know. There might be some crazy people that are into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The wife killer rapist people, they really look up to OJ and Bill.
Man, there's a fetish for everybody out there.
Oh, that's not a fetish. That's wrong. Well, okay. I can really relate to this one. It comes from @tend to disagree. They say, I was never going to gain weight. ... Yeah. I was so skinny, and you can attest to this. I've always been really skinny until I hit 25 or so. Like, I went into full dad bod mode, and I'm finally back in the gym. I'm cutting it off and getting back to my old self slowly.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm glad I just got into dad bod mode.
You weren't really fat.
I wasn't dad bod.
You were uncle bod.
All right, I'll take the
Is that
uncle
a
bod.
thing? Did I make that up?
We're starting it. All right, next one. @RicoSuave60. Probably he was born in the 60s. I'll never be able to afford a VCR.
That really tells his age there.
Yeah.
He was probably born in 1960, is my guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Rico Suave pool, that's pretty old too. All right, and my favorite comes from Mr. Race Bannon, who I'm pretty sure I've used his tweets in this segment before. But Mr. Race Bannon says, what I thought when I was 18, you had to be really smart to be president. Finally, we had a good Twitter trending moment.
Yay! Thank you, Twitterverse, for that.
That last one, though, he realizes now, I guess, you really don't have to be that smart to be president.
Well, just got to know the right people.
Or just fool the right people. Fuck. All right. This week, I have the best real news or fake news for Chris.
I am scared.
This week's real news or fake news headline is former Google CEO says killer robots are just a decade or two away. That headline, it scares you, doesn't it, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, that's
That's
my scared. Yeah. A little hysterical right now. That's all.
All right. Ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt says that robots probably aren't going to enslave or eliminate humans for at least another decade or so. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference last week, Schmidt downplayed the popular doomsday scenario, saying we need not worry for at least a little while. He said, quote, everyone immediately then wants to talk about all the movie-inspired death scenarios, and I can confidently predict to you that they are 1 to 2 decades away, but let's worry about them in a while, end quote. Schmidt did not seem too concerned about the rise of the machines because he believes humans will be able to take control of artificial intelligence. RT reports Schmidt, now a fellow at MIT since stepping down as a Google executive in January this year, presents a more realist rather than alarmist take on the development of AI. He maintains that the benefits far outweigh the risks when it comes to AI, and that we as a species merely need to keep a tight leash on any and all advancements. He recently highlighted how Google is helping to prevent blindness in diabetics using AI. Schmidt's point centers around one key fact regarding AI at present. It's far from replacing humans in major, complex, and nuanced decision-making processes, and instead, for now at least, robots and AI are best at highly repetitive tasks, as they don't get bored like humans do. The other point that I want to remind everyone, these technologies have serious errors in them, and they should not be used with life-critical decisions, Schmidt said. Oh, there was no open quotes there. I didn't know that was a quote. Continuing that quote, so I would not want to be in an airplane where the computer was making all the general intelligence decisions about flying it. The technology is just not reliable enough. There are too many errors in its use. It is advisory, it makes you smarter and so forth, but I wouldn't put it in charge of command and control. There you go.
I don't know. After doing my research, I remember Elon Musk had a lot to say about this, but I don't remember hearing too much of Schmidt's opinion or any his thoughts on it. When they first brought up the movie scenarios, I really just kind of threw it out the window. But the article, sounds pretty legit for the most part after that. I want to say it is reasonable within a decade or two after doing my little bit of research I did. I'll say real news.
Fake news.
Oh, thank goodness. Woo! Feel a lot better there. Thank you.
Yeah, I found a really good website for fake news.
Oh, did you?
It's a lot of stuff that...
Don't share it with me. I don't want to know your secret.
I'm not telling you shit. If you want to find it, you go right... Well, don't Google that one, because that'll take you to it.
Cat's out of the bag now, Randall.
No cheating. Yeah, no, that was... I win.
You always win, man.
No applause. No applause for that, since I've already used the applause button once today.
Yeah. One applause limit.
Do it.
Did you say do it?
Do it.
Emperor Palpatine.
Oh. Oh, Mr. Palp.
All right. Do you want to tell us about our YouTube channel of the week?
Oh, yeah. You know me, getting bored, always searching out YouTube. I found this really interesting channel called Salmonella Academy. Sam O''Nella Academy.
Sam O'Nella.
If you're really big...
When you say it fast, it sounded like you said Salmonella Academy.
I think that's what the...
Okay.
I think that's part of the joke there.
Got it.
This guy likes to give you a bunch of random history facts and different culture facts and everything that aren't very popular.
Like drunk history?
Kind of like that. Like one of the ones that caught my attention was America's first emperor. Did you know we had an emperor in America at one time? You probably won't know.
Was it actually a part of the U.S. or was it one of these sovereign places that's in the middle of the U.S.?
The U.S. was... we're talking about California was established at this point.
Huh. Okay. I need more details. Keep going.
No, there's Emperor Norton, who is, I believe he lived out of San Francisco. He claimed himself as emperor. And...
Oh, yeah. No, I know about that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I never know.
That
was new to me. It wasn't like he wasn't a real
emperor. He's not officially recognized. Yeah, but they do have a park. They have a park dedicated to him.
Well, even the police got in trouble and they started saluting him as an emperor and stuff. So he did get the respect as an emperor, but it's a really interesting story. You should check it out. I'm not going to give you too much.
I'm pretty sure there's an episode of The Dollop about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. But there's a lot of other different just random history stuff that you wouldn't necessarily hear in your history class. Just random facts.
How is the channel how are these facts given to you? Is it just him talking or?
Pretty much him talking with drawing little stick figure. Really, I don't know, F-class art. Just sitting there. I don't know how you describe it. Just going to Microsoft Paint type art. But he just kind of sits there and gives you the facts, and he has some little bit of animation with it, with his low grade art. But that's what makes it kind of interesting.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've never heard of it.
It's a pretty interesting one if you're into history.
I love history.
We're living it.
All right. So before we get into the Playboy Advisor, have you watched any movies lately?
No, I've just rewatched a bunch of some ones I've seen here recently. I can't think of any new. Oh, I did watch Rampage.
I watched Rampage a couple nights ago.
That was actually a little more interesting. It made me want to go play the game.
It was a fun popcorn flick. It was super cheesy at times.
Of course, yes.
And the ending,
Baywatch also. Another
I
rock
did watch
movie.
Baywatch. That movie was so stupid. I laughed a bunch.
Yes.
But that movie was really stupid.
They like to use the F word a lot in that one.
Yeah, it was good. The best movies do. You know, Tarantino's movies and whatnot.
Oh, Tarantino. I need me another good Tarantino.
Yeah, have you seen Super Troopers 2 yet?
No, I haven't. Is it on that? Sorry.
No, it's not on my movies anywhere. Amy bought it for me she bought it for me on a Voodoo card. So I don't have a Voodoo account. I uploaded it to a friend's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should come over, I don't know, next week or this weekend or something. You can watch it.
Yes.
I want to watch it again. I've seen it 3 times now so far. I liked it. I would give it, let's say, 9 out of 10 meows.
Oh, goodness. Now, how many meows would you give the first one in comparison?
9 out of 10.
Good. All right.
Maybe 9.5. I don't know. Honestly, there's parts of the second one that I think are funnier than anything in the first one.
Now, they don't, do they, I'm sorry, I may be asking too much, but do they just rehash the whole same plot?
No.
Okay,
nope.
Awesome. Good.
It's so you don't even know what the movie's about?
No, I mean, I know something about the Canadian.
Yeah,
border
basically, they, at the end of the first one, they take over for the city cops.
Yeah,
well,
Highway Patrol.
Highway Patrol. Yeah. No, they were Highway Patrol.
Oh, they were okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So they take over for the city cops. At the beginning of the second one, you find out that they were fired for some incident. And they hint at it throughout the whole movie, but you never really know what happened until the in credits scene. It shows you what happened. It's pretty funny. They get recruited by the governor. She comes back. She needs them to become Vermont Highway Patrol to patrol this part of Canada that is now actually, like, they review the land markers and find out that it's not actually Canadian land, it's U.S. land. So they're putting it into Vermont. And so they're having to work with the Mounties during this transition period.
You said Mountie.
I did. It's funny. I laughed a lot. There's a lot of pretty funny stuff. And obviously there's really stupid stuff because there's really stupid stuff in the first
part
one.
Of it, yeah.
That's the Broken Lizard charm. They've got really stupid shit, but it's funny.
As long as it's got Farva, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, Farva is more ridiculous in the second one than was the first one.
Is it like over the top, or is it just
Yeah, at times. Well, at times it's definitely.
I guess
over
that's
the top.
Farva.
Yeah.
That's Farva. Do you say shenanigans?
No, I don't think shenanigans was brought up. They didn't rehash a lot of the old jokes.
Well,
it was all
good.
new
I
stuff.
like that.
There is one joke though that I listened to Chewing It with Kevin and Steve. It's Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy. That's Farva and Mac. They have a podcast called Chewing It. I listen to that every week, and they were months ago on an episode. Steve tells this joke as part of his stand-up bit, or it's this Frenchman or this. He tells us this joke about how he was at a party and he starts talking to this French guy, and the French guy said this thing, and I'm not trying to give anything away, but I laughed so hard when he's telling this joke, this stand-up bit that he had. Well, they actually play it out in the movie because they're working with French Canadians, so they're actually able to pretend to be French, and they do this whole bit. I was crying, laughing so hard. I'll just say it has to do with a penis in your asshole. Yeah, when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. I watched Ready Player One yesterday, or 2 nights ago.
I haven't watched it yet.
You need to watch it.
Now, this is my opinion. This is what I was thinking it was, and this is why I haven't really looked into it. This isn't like a futuristic Hunger Games, is it?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I, for some reason, was going in thinking it was some kind of futuristic Hunger Games.
No, I guess the plot, if I had to break it down for you, it's basically 30 years in the future from now.
Okay.
Because I think it takes place around 2040. Well, shit, so that's like math. Less than 40 years from now. Basically, everything is gone to shit in the world. And there's this...
Thanks, Obama.
There's this virtual world that this guy created called the Oasis, and everybody, like, the money that you have in the Oasis, that's basically your real world currency. So like if you were to spend your rent money to buy a new pair of gloves, then that's your real rent money is gone. Or if you have all this money saved up and you die in a game inside of this place, you lose all your coins, so you're broke. You have to start over and start accumulating. So it's basically like everyone is living out their lives. Like they've got the real world, but most of the time they're inside of the oasis. And the creator dies and he leaves these Easter eggs, these 3 keys. And the first person to find all 3 keys wins Oasis. Like they have full control over it. There's a corporation that's trying to get it because they want to own it. And so it's basically this kid trying to take it over because or not take it over, but he's trying to win the game so that the corporation doesn't destroy it, like turn it into something that it's not meant to be. It's incredible. There's so many really cool, just different pop culture references. Like the main character, his race car in the Oasis is a DeLorean.
Nice.
There's an Iron Giant in it. Like it's all kinds of really cool references. There's actually, they take real scenes from the movie The Shining, and their video game, their Oasis characters are in like the hotel in The Shining. It's cool. I highly recommend that movie.
I've been told to read the book, and I've been really wanting to read the book, but you know how slow I am at reading books, so I might have to watch this movie first.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the book. I've heard the book's great.
Yeah,
but
always the book's always
Yeah. The movie though is really good. I highly recommend it. All right, let's get into the Playboy Advisor. Somebody needs to make us some intro music to our segments. That would be fun.
Some Playboy music.
I don't have time to make them.
Start making some jingles.
Yeah, just a little quick, like 3 to 5 second intro to each segment. We need that. John and I, when we first started the segments, we had the plan to make them, and as a filler, he basically just had him sing the name of each segment, and then I just fucked with it with different effects.
We should do the Mike Myers, Do I Make You Randy as we go into the Playboy Advisor.
Okay.
Sorry. Just thought I'd throw that one out there. Idea.
All right. They ask, this comes from MK from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Shout out to MK.
Oh yeah, this is from the 1981 September issue of Playboy.
So if you're still alive there, MK,
I'm sure MK is alive. I doubt MK is listening to this podcast.
You never know.
MK asks, sex has become increasingly satisfying to both my fiance and me. Although we have never striven to make simultaneous orgasm a goal, we couldn't help but notice that we now experience orgasm together about 75% of the time. We practice birth control, so our first question is a curious rather than concerned one. Does simultaneous orgasm create, during a fertile period, a perfect environment for conception? In other words, does it increase the chance of pregnancy? What do you think? Do you think dude and chick come at the same time? Does it make it more likely for her to get pregnant?
You know, I don't know the whole science of it all. Don't have any kids myself.
I'm no physician.
But sure, why not?
All right. Playboy Advisor responds, not particularly. According to Masters and Johnson, no idea who that is.
Johnson.
Master Johnson. It seems that there is probably a greater chance for conception when the woman doesn't orgasm. Since the muscle contractions that occur during climax tend to force the sperm out of the vagina, it seems like you've got a birth control bonus.
Nice. So if you're doing it right, you don't get her pregnant, according to Playboy. So guys, put a little more effort in there and you don't have to worry about no kids popping out.
Time your shit right. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Don't Wake the Kids this week. Episode 58 is wrapping up. Dad advice for this week.
No matter how shitty your kid is, make sure you tell them you love them.
I don't care for what it's